Hi, looks like we're live. Oh, and I see Maria's already posting a question. Real Issoudun slowly. I can try. Awesome. Okay, well, why don't I start with that? I hope everybody's having a good December so far. Sorry for the late notice on the office hours, though maybe that's helpful because it's not like long enough ago that you can forget that it was happening tonight. Yeah, it's lovely and freezing cold here in Maine. I've been wearing my double long underwear all day. And now I'm down here in the basement with the wood stove and I may overheat, but we'll see how it goes. So Real Issoudun, I posted something, let's see, maybe on Facebook. No, I guess it was on the YouTube channel. A bowing video I did for my students. And now I'm trying to remember if it was the A part or the B part, but I will just play the whole thing. And hopefully do the same bowing that I did there, because it is not guaranteed to be 100% the same. So what I'm sort of remembering here is that it was the A part, that accenting. And I'm seeing more, is the bowing like in Real Saint Antoine? Oh, great question. I'm gonna guess no, because this is a crooked tune. So it's gonna need to be a little bit different in the patterns. I think that was the section I was doing in the video, and mostly doing back and forth bowing, which you can do in Real St. Antoine as well. But I think I was doing slurring or showing slurring in that bowing. Key thing here is these big up bows. There's a slur. So there's a lot of really strong up bows, long up bows. And probably the easiest thing to do, well, the easiest two things to do would be to listen to the emphasis and try to copy the emphasis. Da ya ba da ba da. Da ya ba da 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 ya ba da ba ya ba ba da. Or put the emphasis somewhere else that you like it, because there's no law about how to emphasize the notes and how to syncopate the notes. But if you're also trying, the other way to copy what I'm doing more directly might be to take this video after it's done and slow it down to 50%. And, then you can really watch slowly. If I do it too slowly, I'm going to mess it up, I think. But to notice the bowing distribution, so I'm doing like ba-da, 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 and that's really difficult to see. How can I show you more of my bow? Maybe diagonally. So I'm starting up, da da ba da ba dum, da ba da ba bum, making a bow on the last note, ba da ba da. But my down bows are really small. Up, little down, up, little down, up, big down. Ba da ba da ba da ya da da ba da ba 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 ya da. Oh, and I don't know if I did that long slur in the tune, or if I just put it in right now. No, I do it in the tune too. So that's did I use that in St. Antoine? I don't think I used that one. This is another pattern I use a lot as well. One big down and 3 up bows. So it's like 1/8 note down, but a whole bow, and then 3/8 notes to make up the up bow, to make up the space on the bowing. And in comparison, Real St. Antoine, it's sort of more straight ahead in terms of the syncopation. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then evening out at the end of the phrases. So right there at the end of the part, going even is what I tend to do. Whereas this, first of all, it's like a phrase of 4 beats and then a phrase of, what did I get to, 6, 7? Six. I was only using 4 of my fingers. So that's all obviously, you know, already instead of being 8 beats, we're looking at 10 beats. So that's going to change things a little bit. And let's see. If I was to put that Saint Antoine emphasis on that, can I do that? I don't know if I can. Oh, am I doing it? I'm not, because that's what it'd be like. It would be. It's hard for me to do. And let's see what I would do. Yeah, so instead of, it starts out the same. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. So it starts with that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then is on the up goes the off beats. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But you also have the emphasis of a long note, a agogic accent, if you want the technical term. So that sort of accents the note itself. And then it's just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And let's see. Yeah, Maria, I think you're right on with your comment. And I don't think other people can necessarily see it, so I'll just reiterate that. Listen and copy the sounds by ear to avoid getting confused, I think is the best way to do it. And that's totally how I learned. There's a few bowing things that I've learned by trying to watch and puzzle it out, but that's way harder for me anyways, and in my opinion. I think really listening and getting the accenting that you want, you know, being able to hear that inside, whether it's copying somebody else's or like sort of drawing out, you know, how is it that you hear the tune? That's one of my favorite things to do, is to think, you know, really think about how I'm hearing it and how I want to play it. But what I'll play through the whole thing a couple more times slowly, just so you have that after reviewing the slow down stuff intensely. And I won't play it too fast. I said I wouldn't play it too fast, but that's already kind of fast. Oh, my foot percussion's shaking the computer. Okay, no foot percussion. 1, 2, 3, 4. that my network cable isn't plugged in, which is why I do this whole computer in the basement thing. So I'm going to get that. But it seems like you've been able to hear me anyway, so that's nice. But we'll just plug in and then get internet directly into the computer. Okay, great. So let's see. I was thinking I've been enjoying playing another chestnut tune, still on my chestnut tune kick, called Rory O'More. It's a jig in the last couple of days, and I was thinking I might play that for everybody tonight. And yeah, I've got a couple of other tunes in mind. If other questions come up, throw them out. Maria, it looks like you're the only person here at the moment, so I can play you some tunes. I can stop and shut up and let you practice this bowing, but I'll play a few tunes anyway. So Rory O'More, there's a figure that's even in contra dancing that's named after this dance. It's a kind of foot stomping and sliding operation. And let's see, there it is. So there it is, Rory O'More. Yes, it is in the key of A, though the second part, I don't know what chords people usually play, but to me it sounds like it's going to F sharp minor, the relative minor of A major. That's an F sharp minor chord. But maybe you could maybe just say it's going to the D chord also. Except D chord doesn't really sound right to me. I'd be curious to listen. Like I said, like I've said before, I think I am such a melody brain player that I don't always think about what the chord people are doing when they're doing it. But I want to become a chord person, so I'm trying to think about it more. Other things I'm thinking a lot about recently are triplets. Just really trying. There's a couple of players that I really like who just have the most gorgeous crunch on the first two notes of their bowed triplets. I've been trying to emulate that, and I already kind of played them like that, but just trying to be more consistent. I generally do up-bow triplets, which is not the most common, but it's not. I'm not the only person who does it either. When it's when the triplet is falling on the offbeat, which it generally is in music, except Scottish music. I feel like Scottish music has more right on the downbeat, starting out triplets. In that case, I do down, up, down. Either way, trying to get the it's a little different depending on open string, which string you're on, which finger you're using. Like it's a slightly different amount of pressure with the bow to get the crunch as opposed to the note, as opposed to too much crunch or not moving the bow. There it is. That was a good one. So it's funny. It ends up being like almost no bow until the third note. And so I'm probably being confusing because I said I'd do up bow triplets, and then I'm doing all the cases where I do down bow triplets. But that's maybe more useful because many of you may naturally do down bow triplets yourselves. The other thing I do is, after, 2 8th notes and then a triplet, which is a very common pattern, I will usually slur the 2 8th notes and then do up, down, up for the triplet, like in the Silver Spear. And so I'm, leaning. Another word I learned today, pronate. I'm pronating my hand. So they tell me. Leaning my hand is what I think of it as, or sort of twisting at the wrist and elbow to push the pointer finger into the bow. And that's where all my crunches come from there. And then sort of releasing that pressure. I think I did a lot of this in one of the videos. The kind of cuh. It might have even been back in St. Antoine bowing land that I think I did some stuff like that in there. But This is something that I've just been really spending a lot of time thinking about recently. I do fine slowly, and then I try to speed it up, and I get much less precise. I think I'm changing my bowing too. That third finger one on the E string is particularly difficult to get the right amount of crunch and not too much. And of course, some people prefer their triplets without so much crunch, you know. I'm not one of those people. I really like the crunch. See that? Then I just kind of stuttered and swallowed the note. So that's a Noisy Curlew, an Irish tune, which can also be useful. You can play it with triplets like that, or you can play it with rolls. It's nice both ways, and nice to practice both of those techniques. So with rolls, it would be the A part. Oh, and more. I'm not doing a very good job at reading comments today. Whoa. Kevin Burke uses the muscle in the center of his forearm. Maybe I do too. I'm not sure which one's the center muscle. I really am not sure. Well, I guess I can feel it. It's maybe the one that connects to your pointer finger, which is what I don't know that I can think about moving the muscle in the center of my arm. Oh dear. Well, that's good information for everybody to try. Let's see. I also, I guess, in my triplet thinking, I've been playing the opera reel, which is a lovely tune. And can I remember how it goes at the moment? There it is. Ooh, I'm just noticing my phone's way out of tune. Gross. Don't bring your fiddle to the basement by the wood stove. Oh, I was tuning the run straight. Shoot. Well, I'm at least in tune with myself. I was going to play that a little faster, and I will. But Maria, I was also thinking just now that that final part is another place where I use the real Saint Antoine 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. It's a little harder to put into this place than it is to Saint Antoine. And again, I'm sure there are plenty of other people who don't use that, but I do like that little syncopated rhythm. So I'm doing. There's a 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. I'm not gonna be able to talk and play it at the same time. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. Sort of lose around the edges there a little bit, getting too experimental with in my head. I was thinking of something else that I wanted to say while I was playing that tune. Oh, I was thinking that that tune always reminds me of my friend Richard Backus, who made this fiddle and who made sure that I knew how to start that tune. We played it a lot together for a while. So if anybody ever passes through Denver, Colorado, and you see a somebody busking, playing fiddle on the street, tall fella, then that's probably Richard Backus, and you can say hello to him for me and say thank you for playing the opera reel. Let's see, a few more tunes probably would be a good thing. What do I want to do? I was learning a tune this morning, but I don't have it well enough to play for you. A lovely Swedish tune, though. But it's 3 parts, and I had the first 2 parts pretty well, and the third part not really. And I couldn't tell you how any of them start now, so maybe not that one. Let's see. More New England tunes. What haven't I done today? We had the Schottish show recently, so I'll steer clear of Schottishes. Let's see. Oh, you know, there's a jig that I really like that I haven't played. Is the slurs, Jig of Slurs. That's not it. so that's the Jig of Slurs. And I realized the other my breakthrough of the last couple of weeks in terms of teaching has been a sort of new way / intermediate way of working on rolls in jigs. And I typically play rolls all kind of crammed together at the end of the note. But they can also be played, and are also traditionally played, more spread out, particularly in jigs. And the approach, I sometimes use it in reels too. But when it's not sort of the triplety kind of sound, but the 3/8 notes, and then there's another note kind of sound. So it's a little more confusing in reels. But this works really nicely in jigs, and I found that it's a little easier for people to spread the flick and the wiggle out rather than trying to cram them together. So it like note, flick, wiggle, note, flick, wiggle. And again, the flick is just the lightest touch on the string. I'm using my 3rd finger on this 1st finger roll. There's my 1st finger on B, and I'm just tapping the string, not even pressing it down at all, just touching it to get that squeaky place. And then the wiggle for the 1st finger is just, that's Lisa Schneckenberger's term, is just lifting that pointer finger a minuscule amount. It doesn't even look like I'm doing anything on the screen. And I'm not even taking my finger off the string, just releasing the pressure again to get that squeaky place. If I picked it up, it sounded like that. Instead, it actually gets to this sort of half step below, but I'm gonna do it fast, so this is just the wiggle. So it doesn't sound like. And one of the helpful pieces with one of my students this last week was the realization that you don't want to hear all the 5 notes, that you really want to hear 3 notes. Ba, ba, ba. Or B, B, B. You know, in this case, it's B's. B, 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 not B, D, B, A, B. And she kept really trying to make each of those notes clear, and you don't want them clear. You want just B, 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 but you're playing it all in one bow. So instead of B, B, B like that, it's B, 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 flick, wiggle. It's good to do those both directions on the bow. And I tend to put a little bit more bow and pressure into the last one of the 3, but that's get the flick and the wiggle first, and then worry about the bow pressure. Second finger roll is going to be a flick with the 3rd finger. Some people do pinky. And then the wiggle involves putting the 1st finger down very briefly and coming back. Again, not picking the 2nd finger all the way off the string. And I had a student who was like, well, can I just do an open string? And I thought, well, I guess you can. I don't do it that way, and I couldn't. But I can't. I really almost can't distinguish a difference. So. And then the same pattern with the 3rd finger roll, flicking with the pinky, and I use the 2nd finger for the wiggle. But the example I was doing with some of my students was in the rolling wave. So instead of the sound of getting it crammed at the end, it's more like you're playing. sounds better. So, flick, wiggle, flick, wiggle, flick, wiggle. And if you speed it up, it still sounds good. It's hard for me to do though, because I don't usually do them that way. It's good for me to try and speed it up. Let's see another example. Let's see if I can find a first finger one. Simple tune that everybody's going to know. That's a jig. That's in G probably. Or that's not a common tune. You could do it there in the Lilting Banshee. I might play B-A-B, but you can do a B roll there as well. I'm sort of making it overly deliberate. So that's the long note before the roll. And that's the separated. So that's been fun and helpful for some of my students to be two things, separating the rolls with little gaps. And then I guess it's really just two things. And then really just rather than trying to pick a tune where, rather than trying to break your bow hair and get all the rosin off your bow, rather than trying to cram, 15 rolls into a tune just because you can, that can be good practice. Picking one or two places in a whole tune to say, okay, at the beginning of the A part, I'm going to do a roll there. And that can make it a little bit more accessible. I was just thinking, yeah, that's the other great place, actually, better than my last example, the Lilting Banshee, is the Hare in the Corn, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think I made a lesson for this. It's a slide, but I tend to play it more as a jig because I don't have much cause to play slides. So normally I would play, but here I'm gonna slow it down, space it out. Now, I think actually in that tune, I like the held till the end rolls better, but it's a better place to practice the separated rolls than the Lilting Banshee, I think, because you're just dealing with the same bunch of notes again and again and again, and you don't have to immediately cross to the G. You get an A first. You know, small break. Instead of. But both tunes could practice those rolls in that way, if that's helpful. If you've gotten really close to getting the rolls all jammed at the end of the note, the way I typically do them, then it's probably easiest for you to just continue. But if that's been driving you mad and you haven't been able to get it, that's a couple of my students have been like, oh, I can do that, which has been really pleasant for everybody, really fun. So that's something to try. Probably I'll play one more tune and then call it a night. And what do I want it to be? Oh, let's play that. This is another tune I've been excited about, is Prince William, another old tune. This is an English country dance tune from 1600s, I think, 1500s. I looked it up and then I don't remember. And then I just remember how it starts. My fiddle's out of tune again. It's going to drive me crazy. What's the name of that tune again? The one I'm just starting is Prince William. One I just played, I was playing the Lilting Banshee, and I was playing the Hare in the Corn, and I was playing the Rolling Wave. I hope that answered your question. I'm going to tune, and then I'm going to... Oh, gosh. That was all horrible. I don't have one right note. Those are pretty close to tune. I'll tune those. Okay, that's better. So this is in the key of A, but it does have a little accidental moment with a D sharp. So it's a lot of raised third finger position here. A bit of a challenging tune, but it's so beautiful. Prince William. I hope everybody has lovely holidays or is having lovely holidays. And we'll see you in 2018. Hard to believe. Okay. Oh, yes, Maria, same to you. Bye.